How's it going, guys? AlphaYGO back again, and we're back after locals. And cameraman, tell him what I did.
He did something I never thought would happen. Although technically he's done it before.
It's already happened before. I came first with Buster Blader branded. So in the first half of the video, I'm just gonna do a deck profile real quick, just showing all the card by card. And then in the second half, we're gonna get into a little bit more depth about how the cards interact with each other. Every card in this list has like 3 different purposes, and it's crazy. So let's get right into it. For the main deck, we're on the 3 standard of Buster Wolf, 3 Prologue, 1 of the extra deck Lock, 1 Destruction Sword Buster Blader, 1 Vanilla Buster Blader, as well as the Memories 2 Kit, 3 Nadir Servant, along with 1 Mastery, 1 in red, and 1 Mercurier. And on top of that, we have 2 on Alvaz. Next, we're on 3 Lebellion, 2 Serenir, 1 Druis, 1 Magnemite, 1 Chaos Space, as well as the Branded Beast and Regain. Moving on, we're on also 1 Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is absolutely crazy in this deck for a reason I'll explain later. 3 Branded Fusion, 3 Thrust, shout out to Cameraman for letting me borrow, as well as 2 Triple Attack plus Feather Duster. And now moving on to the extra deck, we're on 1 Buster Drake and 1 Fusion Buster Blader. You only need 1 and 1. Next, we're on Mirror Jade, plus 2 Albion, 1 Lebellion, as well as the MVP Albelenitis. Albelenitis is absolutely insane in this deck. One of this works for the Nadir engine, 1 Entis for Nadir as well. Instant Fusion targets, aka Mudragon and Millennium Eyes, absolutely insane cards, especially when you pair them with something like Cross Sheep. And for other links, we're on the Destruction Sword link, as well as Seals, which again, complements Albelenitis really good, and Striker Dragon, just so we can get extra dragons to the grave. That about wraps up the list. So the actual synergies, I'm just gonna go by everything really quickly and try to explain everything in one go. The things that your Buster Blader engine really needs is Dragons Engraved and a way to put these 4 cards back into the deck or into the graveyard, right? And everything I've shown here basically accomplishes that in one way or another. Kit is basically your extra normal summons that can put any of these cards back to get you branded cards. As you can see, we have a lot of good options for those branded cards. And on top of that, we can special off of their Servant by dumping the Airplane from your extra deck and playing on your end phase, which can get you into the Mastery, into the in red, into the Mercurier. A lot of ranked players obviously know this line. So for that regard, it accomplishes multiple roles. The Nadir Servant can dump you Entis to break boards, dump you Dragons to get your plays going, and obviously do Kit line, gets you Dragons to the grave, gets you interaction, payoff for the things we talked about, and Albaz is obviously a requisite for everything. Lebellion is insane because Lebellion itself just can get you into Regain and Random Beast, which we'll touch on in just a second. Serenir, Druis, or Magnemite. I don't even have to explain why they're so strong, right? I'm pretty sure that's pretty straightforward. The fact that we have Recycle Power in Regain and Chaos Space is absolutely insane as well. And the nice part is that Regain, since Prologue banishes to do its thing, you can almost get a free draw guarantee on your opponent's turn always, right? Which is absolutely insane. Random Beast is really powerful as well because we can send certain dragons that we make on our opponent's turn to get us even more plays, which I'll touch on. Hint, hint, it's Albelenitis, right? Instant Fusion is accessible. It can act as an extender as well because obviously Link 2 plays are actually very important. And even though Link plays seem kind of weird in this deck, Branded Fusion is not the end-all be-all. It's just an additional engine, right? The whole goal isn't to use Branded Fusion as your starter, but kind of like a backup play, a bomb card. It fulfills more niches than just your starter, right? So this always poses a threat to your opponent. Thrust is absolutely insane. And the fact that this can get you into your engine is absolutely phenomenal. On top of other cards, like Nadir Servant, Instant Fusion, Branded Fusion, Chaos Space, all these cards are accessible off of that Thrust. This is your skill drain lock over here. You can pitch your undesirable 4 cards off of the Lebellion, which is great, and it can cycle back. Albion for obvious reasons. Mirror Jade, funny enough, is also an enabler. It dumps your dragon from your extra deck, and this for obvious reasons, often Nadir, breaks boards, you're playing for the Nadir Servant. Albelenitis is one of my favorite cards in this deck. When you set up your skill drain lock, not only does it skill drain them, it turns everything they control into dragons. On your opponent's turn, you can use Seals to bounce anything, whether it's your own card or your opponent's card, and summon Fallen of Albaz. Fallen of Albaz can contact fuse with any of their monsters, aka if they're dragons, they can turn into Albelenitis. And Albelenitis is an absolutely insane card because not only can it put up a lot of damage if it stays up, but if you get rid of it with something like Branded Beast or opponent outs it, you can get yourself into either Branded Fusion or Instant Fusion. And Instant Fusion lets you summon a Mudragon or Millennium Eyes, which insulates your play to go OTK, right? Your opponent might set something up, but they can't set something up if you have guaranteed a way to stop them from stopping you. right? Striker Dragon for obvious reasons, you just want more dragons engraved. Pyrex Seal, as I mentioned, which is very powerful. This card will typically end up dumping the extra deck lock, and the extra deck lock can be equipped by the synchro, so it's just very smooth, just trying to link climb. Cross Shape is also really cool because when you have Instant Fusion as a starter, you can special summon Millennium Eyes. It basically stops your opponent from hand trapping you, right? You can go normal summon your Whelp, get your prologue, make a cross shape if you want. Your opponent's turn, when you prologue and you summon Buster Blader to your cross shape, it can resurrect your Millennium Eyes for another negate.
That's insane.
I guess it is. For the side deck, the only card that really matters is this one. I worked really hard to find this card. My friend had to travel several cities to find me this card. This card's insane. It's basically a Abyss Bowler. If you're not extra deck locking your opponent, you can Abyss Bowler them, which comes up more often in certain matches like Tier. A bunch of 1-ofs to complement our Thrust package, followed by is really good. And then a bunch of cards to try and reset the board state, just so we can skill drain them. Thank you all so much for watching. I know it's been a while, so I really do appreciate you tuning in. I love this deck. I hope you all had a bit of fun looking through everything with me. Deck is super cool. And I'll see you another 3 months from now.